All right, time to jump into UiPath's latest earnings call. See what we can uncover, right? They brought in $424 million in revenue for Q4, a 5% increase. Full year revenue hit $1.43 billion. That's a 9% jump. And their ARR, annual recurring revenue, sits at a nice $1.666 billion, marking a 14% rise.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all. But, as always, the devil's in the details, right?
Yeah. What's really interesting here is the mixed bag we're seeing. You've got cloud ARR just exploding over $975 million with a 50% growth rate. So clearly their focus on AI and agents, which, naturally fit that cloud environment, is really resonating with customers. And customer loyalty is strong.
Oh, yeah.
98% dollar-based gross retention rate.
Wow.
People are sticking with UiPath, which means they're finding value in their products.
That sticky product is a great sign. But something's got to be causing that air of caution you mentioned. What's the flip side to this cloud success story?
Well, the net new ARR came in at $60 million, which is lower than many were hoping for.
Okay.
And there are a couple of culprits behind the slowdown.
Right.
First, the U.S. government transition.
Is creating a little bit of a bottleneck.
I see.
Agencies love UiPath's efficiency.
Right.
But approvals for new deals are just kind of on hold as priorities shift.
So bureaucratic hurdles, never fun.
Never fun. But that hopefully smooths out, you would think, eventually.
Yeah, fingers crossed. What's happening outside of government contracts?
Second, the global economic uncertainty is definitely impacting things.
Okay.
Deals are getting delayed, budgets are tightening up, and companies are hesitant, understandably so, to make big commitments in such a volatile environment.
Yeah, it's like everyone's holding their breath a little bit, waiting to see how things shake out. But in the meantime, UiPath isn't just sitting around, right?
Absolutely not. They are doubling down on what they do best, which is innovation.
Okay.
Agentic automation is the next frontier they're tackling.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to see where they're going with it.
Now, you've mentioned agentic automation a few times. Now, for those of us who don't live and breathe tech, can you break down what that actually means? Why is it such a big deal? Think of it as taking automation to a whole new level. Instead of just automating those simple, repetitive tasks, agentic automation brings in intelligent agents that can learn, adapt, and even make decisions. It's like having a digital workforce that is constantly evolving and getting smarter, able to handle increasingly complex processes.
That's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. It's not just automating data entry anymore. It's potentially automating decision-making.
Right.
So UiPath is placing a big bet on this agentic automation.
Right.
But given the headwinds they're facing, is that enough to keep them on track?
Well, their guidance for fiscal year 2026 suggests they're expecting a somewhat bumpy ride.
Right.
They are projecting revenue between $1.525 and $1.530 billion, and ARR between $1.816 and $1.821 billion.
Right.
While these numbers do indicate continued growth, it's a definite slowdown compared to what we've seen previously.
Right.
They're clearly acknowledging the challenges ahead.
It's a bit of a reality check there, acknowledging that the next year might not be smooth sailing. But is there anything in their outlook that hints at a potential turnaround? Something for investors to latch onto?
There are a couple of glimmers of hope.
Okay, good.
Let's hear them. First, the public sector uncertainty is likely a temporary hurdle.
Okay.
Once the dust settles in Washington and priorities become clearer, we could see those government contracts start flowing again.
Fingers crossed on that one. What's the other potential catalyst they're banking on?
It's this push into agentic automation.
Okay.
This is a nascent field, but the potential is enormous. If UiPath can successfully bring this technology to the mainstream and their bets pay off, it could be a complete game changer for them and the entire automation landscape.
So it's a wait and see game, with the public sector and agentic automation adoption being the key factors to watch. It's a classic case of balancing risk and reward for investors. But before we jump into that, let's get your take on a bold, perhaps even slightly outlandish trade idea in our This Is Not Financial Advice segment.
All right, let's have some fun. All right.
Let's say you're feeling daring.
Okay.
You're looking at UiPath's potential.
Okay.
You want to make a play that could yield some significant returns if things fall into place.
Let's hear it. What's the wild card trade that's caught your eye?
How about a long-dated call option spread on UiPath, betting on a significant rebound in the second half of 2026?
Okay, that's definitely stepping out on a limb. But walk me through the logic here. Why would this potentially work?
The key is the timing and those two big ifs we discussed. If the public sector stabilizes and UiPath's agentic automation starts gaining some serious traction, their stock could soar.
Okay.
The long-dated call option spread allows you to leverage that potential price movement with, controlled risk.
I see. So it's all about timing those catalysts just right. But let's be real. Option trading is inherently risky.
Oh,
What's the potential downside if things don't pan out as hoped?
well, if those ifs don't become reality, if the public sector remains sluggish and agentic automation doesn't take off as expected, this trade could go south quickly.
It's a high-risk, high-reward scenario.
Right.
But that's the nature of options. You're essentially making a calculated bet on a specific outcome.
All right, so a bold play for those with an appetite for risk and a belief in UiPath's long-term potential. Remember, folks, this is purely hypothetical.
Yeah.
We're not financial advisors. But it's always fun to explore the possibilities, right?
Absolutely. It's a good reminder that even when things seem uncertain, there are always opportunities for those who are willing to think outside the box.
With that, we'll wrap up part 1 of our deep dive into UiPath's earnings call. Make sure you tune in for part 2, where we'll unpack the competitive landscape they're navigating and dig deeper into those internal execution challenges they need to address.
Welcome back to Talk Tickers. Last time we dove into UiPath's latest earnings call, dissecting their performance, their ambitious push into agentic automation, and of course that bold trade idea.
Right, but they aren't operating in a vacuum.
Not at all.
So let's map out the competitive landscape they're up against. Who are the rivals they're constantly watching, the ones breathing down their neck?
One of the first names that comes to mind is automation. Anywhere.
Okay.
They've been around for a while and have built a strong presence, particularly with larger enterprises.
So a head-to-head with automation. Anywhere.
Yeah, it's a classic battle for market share.
But I imagine it's not that simple. There are always other players trying to muscle their way into the game. Who else should we be keeping an eye on?
Well, you can't talk about enterprise tech without mentioning Microsoft.
Of course not.
They're making a serious push into automation, leveraging their immense cloud infrastructure and, that sprawling ecosystem they've cultivated.
Ah, Microsoft. The behemoth that seems to have its fingers in every pie these days. They're definitely a force to be reckoned with, no matter what space they enter.
Exactly. And they're not the only tech giant with their sights set on automation.
Okay.
IBM and Salesforce are also building out their capabilities, weaving them into their existing software suites. It's becoming less about standalone automation solutions and more about integrating it into broader platforms.
So, UiPath is facing pressure from all sides. Established rivals, ambitious tech giants. I'm sure there are plenty of hungry startups nipping at their heels as well. How did they differentiate themselves in this crowded space? What makes them stand out?
One of UiPath's biggest strengths has always been their focus on user experience.
Okay.
Their platform is known for being intuitive and user-friendly, even for those without a deep technical background.
That's a smart strategy. In a world where everyone wants to empower citizen developers and democratize tech, right? Making automation accessible is crucial.
Absolutely. And their commitment to user-friendliness extends to building a strong community and ecosystem.
How interesting.
They've cultivated a network of developers, partners, and customers who share knowledge, best practices, and even pre-built automation workflows.
That sense of community is invaluable. It's not just about the tech itself. It's about fostering a collaborative environment where people can learn and support each other. It's a powerful differentiator. But what about keeping up with the pace of innovation? Everyone's talking about AI and agentic automation. Is UiPath's tech truly cutting edge?
Their push into agentic automation is a clear signal that they're not content with resting on their laurels.
Right.
They're not just following trends. They're actively trying to shape the future of automation.
Okay.
And their Agent Builder platform is a prime example of that.
All right, tell us more about Agent Builder. What makes it stand out? And what are they doing with it that's pushing the boundaries of what's possible?
What's really remarkable about Agent Builder is its no-code approach.
Okay.
They've made it incredibly user-friendly, allowing people without coding expertise to create their own intelligent agents.
So truly democratizing the development of these sophisticated automation solutions.
Exactly. Putting the power in the hands of business users.
That's a huge step in making this technology more widely accessible. But technology is only part of the equation.
Right.
What about their go-to-market strategy? How are they getting their products in front of the right customers and actually closing those deals?
UiPath has a well-established network of partners who play a key role in their sales and implementation efforts. These partners bring specific industry expertise and local market knowledge, helping UiPath reach a broader audience and tailor their solutions to specific needs.
Partnerships are crucial, especially in the enterprise software world, right? It's about building trust and credibility, having those boots on the ground that understand the nuances of different markets. But let's talk about their direct sales force.
Okay.
Are they operating effectively? targeting the right customers, closing those all-important deals.
Well, as we discussed before, their net new ARR has slowed down.
Right.
And while that's partly due to external factors like the government transition and macroeconomic headwinds, there are also internal execution challenges they need to address.
So it's not just about external pressures.
Right.
Where are internal hurdles they need to overcome?
Yeah.
Let's unpack those execution challenges a bit further. Where specifically can UiPath improve?
One area that often comes up is sales productivity.
Okay.
There's been some concern about whether their Salesforce is operating as efficiently as it could be, especially as they transition to a more cloud-centric model.
Transitions are never easy, especially for companies with established on-premise businesses.
It's true.
It often requires a shift in sales processes, compensation structures, even the skills needed by sales reps.
Precisely. It's about adapting to the changing landscape and making sure your team is equipped to succeed in a new environment. And it goes beyond just sales. UiPath also needs to ensure that their implementation and customer support processes are running smoothly, particularly as they onboard larger enterprise customers with more complex automation needs.
Customer success is paramount, especially in today's subscription-based world, right? If you're not delivering a seamless experience and real value, customers will churn quickly. But stepping back from the internal workings of UiPath, how is their performance influencing the broader automation sector? Are they seen as a bellwether for the industry?
UiPath's performance definitely has ripple effects throughout the market.
Okay.
They're often considered a leader in the space, so their results can impact investor sentiment and perceptions of the entire automation sector.
So if UiPath is facing headwinds, it could cast a shadow over the entire industry,
Yeah.
making investors more cautious about the growth potential of automation as a whole.
It's certainly possible.
Okay.
If a leading company like UiPath is struggling, it raises questions about the broader market dynamics. But conversely, if they can successfully navigate these challenges and regain their momentum, it could signal that the automation sector is still poised for significant growth.
There's a lot riding on UiPath's shoulders.
There is.
Their success, or lack thereof, could have a domino effect on the entire industry.
It's a reminder that even in a rapidly evolving space like automation, a single company's performance can have a significant impact on the market as a whole.
It'll be interesting to see how UiPath navigates these challenges and what impact their decisions have on the broader automation landscape. But let's shift our focus now to the exciting world of agentic automation, exploring UiPath's product roadmap and the future they're building. Welcome back to Talk Tickers. We've covered UiPath's financials, their competitive landscape, and those internal challenges they're tackling.
Now it's time to look ahead to what's next for UiPath and really delve into this exciting world of agentic automation.
We've been teasing it for a while now. So let's get into the specifics. What's on their roadmap that has everyone buzzing? What's got you particularly excited?
Well, they've already laid a solid foundation with Agent Builder, right?
Right.
A no-code platform that empowers users to create their own intelligent agents. It's a brilliant move towards democratizing this technology, making it accessible to a wider range of users.
Yeah, we touched on that earlier, but I think it's worth emphasizing no-code platforms are a game changer for bringing these powerful tools to those who don't have the time or resources to learn complex coding languages.
Exactly. And UiPath isn't stopping there. They're actively working on integrating agents with their existing robot workforce, aiming to create a truly autonomous system capable of handling even the most intricate tasks.
It's like taking the concept of a digital workforce to a whole new level. We're not just talking about automating simple, repetitive tasks anymore. This is about creating an ecosystem where agents and robots collaborate, each playing to their strengths and tackling increasingly complex processes.
That's precisely where their agentic orchestration platform comes in.
Okay.
It acts as a sort of conductor, harmonizing the actions of agents, robots, and even human workers to achieve a common goal. It's about orchestrating a symphony of automation, if you will.
Okay, I'm starting to see the full picture here. This isn't just about replacing humans with robots. It's about creating a truly collaborative environment where each component enhances the capabilities of the others.
That's the key takeaway. It's not about replacement, it's about augmentation, using technology to enhance human capabilities and free us from those mundane, repetitive tasks so we can focus on what we do best.
So let's dive into some real-world applications. Where can we see this technology making a tangible impact?
Okay, think about financial services, for example.
Okay.
Agents could be used for everything from loan approvals and fraud detection to personalized customer interactions.
I can see that being a game changer for banks and insurance companies, streamlining processes, reducing costs, and potentially even improving customer experiences.
Absolutely. And then there's healthcare.
Right.
Imagine agents assisting doctors with diagnoses, streamlining patient onboarding, even contributing to drug discovery.
Healthcare is definitely ripe for disruption, and agentic automation could play a key role in making it more efficient and effective.
The possibilities are truly vast, from manufacturing and logistics to education and retail. Virtually every industry can benefit from this technology in some way.
But of course, with any technological advancement, there are always concerns. And one that comes up frequently with automation is the impact on jobs. Are we all going to be replaced by robots and agents?
It's a valid concern, and one that needs to be addressed thoughtfully. While automation will undoubtedly change the nature of work, I don't believe it's about replacing humans entirely.
So it's more about shifting the focus of human work, right?
Yeah.
Allowing technology to handle the repetitive, rule-based tasks while freeing up humans for more creative, strategic, and problem-solving roles.
Exactly. It's about leveraging technology to enhance our capabilities and create new opportunities, not eliminate them altogether. Of course, there will be challenges along the way. Adapting to these changes will require upskilling and reskilling the workforce. But I believe the potential benefits outweigh the risks.
Now, as UiPath ventures further into this uncharted territory of agentic automation, what are some of the hurdles they might encounter? What are the potential roadblocks they'll need to navigate?
One of the biggest challenges is ensuring that these agents are reliable, secure, and unbiased. We're talking about artificial intelligence making decisions that could have real-world consequences.
Right.
So responsible AI development is absolutely crucial. Transparency, accountability, and ethical considerations need to be at the forefront of every decision.
That's a critical point.
Yeah.
We can't just blindly embrace technology without considering the ethical implications. It's about finding the right balance between innovation and responsibility.
Another hurdle is integration.
Yeah.
To truly realize the potential of agentic automation, these agents need to interact seamlessly with existing systems and applications. It's not just about developing cutting-edge technology, it's about making sure that technology can integrate into the broader technological landscape.
Interoperability is always a challenge in the tech world, but it's an essential piece of the puzzle. Without seamless integration, the full potential of any technology is limited.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up our deep dive into UiPath, let's distill some key takeaways for investors who are considering adding this company to their portfolios. What should they be thinking about as they evaluate UiPath's prospects?
That's a great question. What are the essential points investors should keep in mind?
First and foremost, remember that UiPath is a pioneer in this space. They're not just following trends, they're actively shaping the future of automation. They're leading the charge into this exciting world of agentic automation.
So there's that first mover advantage, the potential to establish themselves as the go-to solution as this technology matures.
Exactly. Second, they have a clear vision for where they're headed with agentic automation, and they're executing on that vision with purpose. They're not just throwing ideas at the wall and seeing what sticks. They're taking a strategic, measured approach.
Vision and execution are essential ingredients for success in any industry, but especially in the rapidly evolving world of technology.
Absolutely. And finally, a word of caution. Be patient. Agentic automation is still in its early stages, and it will take time for its full potential to unfold. We're on the cusp of something truly transformative, but it's a journey, not an overnight phenomenon.
So don't expect to get rich quick. This is about investing in the long-term potential of a company that's pushing the boundaries of what's possible with automation.
Precisely. And with that, I think we've covered a lot of ground. We've explored UiPath's financial performance, their competitive landscape, their ambitious push into agentic automation, and the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
It's been a fascinating deep dive exploring the intricacies of a company that's at the forefront of a technological revolution.
And as always, we want to remind our listeners that this is not financial advice. Do your own research, consider your individual investment goals and risk tolerance, and consult with a financial advisor before making any investment decisions.
We're here to provide insights and spark thought-provoking conversations. But ultimately, the decisions are yours to make. So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep investing wisely.